way to go live. I hope that we have enough internet to do both of these today. Happy Halloween. And I'm hoping that you guys are chiming in or feeling the energy of the season. I wanted to get on and talk today about ancestral healing and how that relates to your human design blueprint, and how that also relates to the foundation that you have for your self-confidence. So I'm just waiting to see if we've got a few coming on. There are a couple coming on here on YouTube, so feel free to chat. And if you're on Facebook Live, come on in and join the party. So ancestral healing, self-confidence. The reason that I wanted to come on today is because it is Halloween. Tomorrow is All Saints Day, and then Saturday we are doing our live stream. And I've been getting these downloads and these nudges all week that this is such a perfect time to really look at the connection between our genetic programming and that foundation that we have for the level of self-confidence that we have. Rohan, we're talking about ancestral healing because this time of year, around All Saints Day, supposedly the veil between our physical experience, our physical world here, and the other world where our ancestors live, where those who have gone before us exist, is very, very. So this is a great opportunity to, if you have loved ones who have passed over, like, my father passed away a little over a year ago. My mother-in-law passed away just before he did. And my mother passed away a few years ago, but I've been feeling all of them around me. And if you spend time in silence and in contemplation and meditation, you may also feel the presence of your ancestors around you. So this is a great time to really draw upon that connection and also to kind of integrate that with the understanding of what you come from, who is what and who is in the genetic material that makes up you. And this is something that is very, very is something that's very, very important to our study and our understanding of our human design charts. And that's why I wanted to share this, because this is something actually that we will probably work with on Saturday, as it's been coming through to me, that there is this place and this opportunity right now where we can get that nonverbal, if you've done your ancestry DNA and all of that, that's great, but there's this nonverbal energy that is here to support us from those who have gone before us, so that we can really take a deep look at how we got to where we are. And if you're struggling with self-confidence issues, if you're struggling with those building blocks of courage and self-esteem and feeling safe and all of those things that I've talked about in previous videos, you will struggle. You will have the opportunity to kind of be more connected with that stream of energetic support, that stream of understanding of how you have been made to be who you are. So, on the very mundane level, I want to make you aware that this is the time of year where if you have loved ones who've passed over, you can give honor to them and bring that kind of ritual and ceremony in to begin your own healing process around, you know, whatever it is that you need to reconcile and heal from your past. So this morning I was having a conversation with the streams of consciousness that are part of our, that represent our collective ancestors. And, you know, all of us on this planet are made up of basically stardust. You know, if you think about how in human design, the neutrino streams, which are basically stardust carrying information into us, have imprinted us at the time of our birth and 3 months before. You know, that is a substance that was part of our ancestors. That is the substance that, and the consciousness that also imprinted our ancestors, who passed on their genetic inheritance to us. So, you know, I was having this conversation with this stream of consciousness, and we were and I was being reminded of how the I Ching, which is part of our genetic, you know, is part of our human design, the imprints, the representation of the imprints of our pre-birth and birth experiences. And it looks like I can't continue on Facebook, so I'm just going to stop that because it's a distraction. You know, that the 64 codons, or the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, are representative of the 64 codons of DNA within our bodies that we have access to, or that we are programmed with as human beings. So, you know, this is the genetic stuff that makes us up. And you know, and it's also here within your Gene Keys hologenetic profile. If you haven't gotten that, I'll put a link down below so that you can check that out. Because what's really important to understand is the human design chart hooks you up. You know, it shows you how all of this, these prominent themes that you've inherited, that have been passed down through the stardust, that have been passed down to us, that have imprinted us from the collective, hook us up so that we function from our body-mind construct, right? And then we, you know, that's our imprint, but we're not necessarily stuck in it, because this is what we have to work with to evolve, to take our genetic inheritance and heal it and evolve it, by first getting on our chart, by first, you know, understanding how we operate and living from our strengths and our definition, and then deconditioning what is not ours, what we've picked up. And then, you know, maybe going that step further and raising our vibrational frequencies so that we have a higher, more evolved experience of our genetic potential. And hello, Earth to Maya. Hello, hello, hello. So this is really what I wanted to share with you, you know, because I want to set, and also I want to say, in terms of evolving our genetic potential, that's kind of where I like to hop onto the Gene Keys. You know, this shows us the potential. This shows us the basics of how to, you know, it shows us way more than that, but, you know, in general, the basics of how we come together as a human being with a body and a mind, and what we have to work with, and what we work with other people in this openness. And then, you know, beyond that, there are a multitude of different ways that we can live out our definition. And that, for me, gets understood more clearly through contemplating the Gene Keys. Like, I'm actually taking a class with Ashley Pfeffer and her group at Support Your Design, and we're just looking right now at just one of these spheres, the attraction sphere. And you can go down the rabbit hole of that, and how deeply you want to engage your genetic programming is it's kind of up to you, because everybody gets this in a different way. Everybody works with this in a different way. And when we come together on Saturday for our meet and greet, and we talk about some of these building blocks that you can look at you can discover in your human design blueprint, about that contribute to your level of self-confidence, we are going to use the framework, or work within the framework of understanding that our genetic inheritance has contributed to these building blocks. Whether you know who your ancestors are or not, you're carrying that DNA. You're carrying the and I look at ancestors in a broad way. There's like your family ancestors, right? And I can trace mine all the way back to on my mother's side to a Manchurian warlord in Korea, and on my father's side, we can't go back too far, but I know that my great grandfather was a slave who got freed during the Civil War. So I know what my family brings, and you may know that as well. But we also have soul family. We also have the experiences of our what we perceive as our past lives, which I feel like has to do a lot with maybe parallel lives. Who knows? But it's how the brain processes what has gone before. The stream of consciousness that has culminated in who we are right now comes from our physical families, our spiritual families, our past life experiences, all of that. And so this is actually the energy that I feel that we will be bathed in on Saturday, as we look at where are you with what has affected you to this point that has created the level of self-confidence that you experience in your life right now, and what can be activated in you or brought to light during our conversation on Saturday, through the understanding of your chart and all of that, that will assist you and bring light into where you can begin to shift and elevate certain aspects of what you have taken on in your life. So there's going to be a part, I'm going to do the human design part. You can come and bring your questions about your chart and all of that. And, and then there's going to be this part where we actually do some work with that stream of consciousness of our collective ancestors, so that you can get a sense of that for yourself and allow that energy to work through you as you go down your path of really understanding who you are, and living from, doing the healing and the shifting and the changing work inside to show up and be present as a more confident and empowered version of yourself. So I wanted to give you a little experience today that may help you with this, or may prepare you with this. So, it's kind of what I did this morning to connect with that stream of consciousness. So if you're not driving, if you're not doing something that requires you to have your attention there, come into the attention inside yourself. And close your eyes, put your feet on the ground, and let's attune to that stream of energy that is our ancestors, that has come before us and has made us each as individuals, and has come together as the collective of all of us. So take some deep breaths. And as you do so, imagine what I'm seeing is like a tree, like your body being a tree. So imagine that the inside of the trunk of you as a tree. Oh, I am so sorry about that. Okay, I don't know if I turned that off or not. Okay, let's get back into that space. Few deep breaths. And imagine that feel yourself as a tree that has grown as many years as you have lived upon this earth in this body, with roots that move into the earth, and a solid, defined trunk and branches that branch out into the atmosphere, into the air, and interact with the heavens. And then come down into your trunk and feel the life that goes on there. You know, the trunk of a tree is a living thing. It's a living entity with all kinds of biological processes going, just as we have in our own bodies. And you may feel that in your torso. You know, the moisture and the hydration and the movement of energy and the growth of cells and the turnover of the cells that make the wood pulp that of the tree that make your organs go in your body. And as you tune into that life moving within you, feel how that moves down into your roots and up into your branches. And now move your attention and focus down into your roots and just draw that energy down even past where your physical roots would be in the earth. As you move down, you're moving your consciousness into the records of your human history, the records of your ancestors. And I like to visualize this as a cave of crystals. So move down past your roots and into this cave of crystalline energy that's transmitting information about us and who we are, where we've come from, what the history is of our human existences, the existences of our ancestors, and even perhaps our past life existences. And as you go into this cave, you are looking around and you're seeing all of these different crystals, crystalline structures that represent certain aspects of what has the experiences that have made you at this point in time. Those things that were passed on, those memories that were transmitted to you from your parents through your family line, those soul history and past life memories that are contained within this crystalline cave of information and data. And just take a deep breath and be open to allowing this information to come up. Allow whatever is most pertinent for you to know at this point about what has made you who you are to come into your energetic consciousness. And then with a big inhale, just draw that energy up into your roots, into your trunk. And on your exhale, just allow it to circulate through your whole being. And take another inhale and draw that information and data up through your roots, through your trunk, through your branches, and then feel it come out your heart. And one more time, bring that energy and information up through your roots, through your trunk, through your branches. And as you exhale, let it move out through your heart. Recognize that your heart is the place of attraction within your physical experience right now. And allow yourself to relax into that. Relaxing, first of all, your back, so that you can be open to what has come before you, what has happened before you, what experiences have shaped and molded you, and to that unseen support that always has your back, that unseen support of your ancestral lineage, of your soul family, of your supportive angels, guides, however you conceptualize that. And just feel yourself relaxing into that energy as though you were reclining into a nice, soft, comfortable chair. And as you do that, feel your heart open more. Feel that attraction energy coming from your heart center. And take a couple of deep breaths and set the intention that you are receptive to being shown those things that you need to see or that you want to see about what has truly come before you that has made you who you are. And at this point, if you are wanting to be open to communication from, the ancestors that you know, who have crossed over, this is a time when you can set that intention to be open to any communication through this very thin veil that we have this time of year. And now you can just set that, forget it, come back into your body and your physical experience, and open your eyes. And as you go through your day, just be open to what comes to you, what insights come to you, what guidance may come to you, what information comes to you, even in your conversations with people. Be open to how your ancestors may be communicating with you and supporting you at this point in your life. So That's it. You know, we're going to do some kind of an opening with that. That's kind of what I'm getting in terms of what we're going to work with on Saturday. So, you know, and I want you to bring your, you know, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Hopefully, a lot of you will be on, so that we can have a really good conversation about where you see your level of self-confidence, what you see as the foundations for your self-confidence. You know, we're going to talk about some of the things that I talked about in a past video about safety, feeling safe. How safe do you feel in your body? How safe do you feel in your life? And how do your reactions to not feeling safe affect your level of self-confidence, and how does that show up in your life and in your experience? So, you know, we'll talk a little bit about those centers around safety and security, the spleen center, the emotional center in particular, maybe even the root. We'll see what comes up, and you can bring your questions about that. And along with that, we will also tap into and connect into the energy of our collective ancestors to support our work together. Because one of the things I got this morning as I was having that conversation with the stream of consciousness of our collective ancestors is that everything that we shift and change in our present moment, every time we evolve and elevate our frequency, the frequency of our genetic programming, we shift things across the timeline. We shift things for our future, we shift things for future generations, and we shift things that have gone before us in the past. We actually are able to heal our genetic ancestral line by the healing that we do, because we are the culmination of everything that we've inherited. So this is very, very important work that we do together. And we do it through the lens of understanding how you are designed and how you've been created, the understanding of the mechanics of what makes you you. But truly, that's the foundation for having that solid footing to begin to grow and evolve and shift and change and heal all of those things inside of you that need to be realigned and, you know, and brought up to speed with this the higher levels of consciousness that you have access to, the higher levels of experience, the ability to realize your potential, the potential that you've inherited. And also, as we do that, and especially as we do that as a group, we have the opportunity to come together and work with our collective inheritance and healing, and we have the opportunity to heal and shift and elevate the frequency of the collective as well. So it's not just about me, it's not just about you, it's about all of us and what we can do together in that respect. So, and I want to just remind you on the mundane, I'm going to put a link down below for the live stream. It's Saturday the 2nd, this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It will be public, so you will get, you can come online and get the replay. And also, just like the previous live stream, it's not going to be as long. It's not going to be a 3-hour marathon. But there will be a drawing for something human design related that will help you to support you with your journey. So be sure to sign up in advance for that, because I'm only pulling from the names that are on the list. So if your name is not in the hat, you're not going to get a chance to win the prize. And you know, you can put your name on after, and I'm going to send out a special of some sort for everyone who's on the list. But the one who gets the prize gets the really special thing. So I hope that you will participate in that way. So I hope to see you on Saturday. I'll just give you guys a chance. If you have any questions or any input, I'll give you a few minutes here to type that in, of anything that you are not clear about or want to cover on Saturday, or if this was too weird for you, let me know. It's something that you know, I really want to put you in touch with, you know, that we're more than just what the blueprint says on here. You know, we are, this is our human self, right? And it's a way that we have access to our soul self as well. But our soul self is so much bigger than the human self. And I'll talk about that at some point in the future. So dipping the toe into, you know, let's open up our sensors to our, you know, our genetic line, the timelines that we've lived on. Let's open up to more than what we can see in our physical bodies. You know, this is part of my work here, and I'm really honored that you guys are here and working with me on this wavelength, because, as I said, it's all of us working together that can shift things along our timeline, not only our individual timeline, and not only can we elevate our own and evolve our own potential, but we can also come together and evolve. Each person who evolves individually evolves the potential of the collective. And this is what we're really here for. So, yeah, so Dorothy, yeah, I hope you can make it Saturday, and Rohan, you too, and Earth to Maya and Pamela K. I hope you can all make it on Saturday, and tell your friends as well. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to talk a little bit about human design. We're going to tap into and call in our ancestral lineage, and then from there, who knows how it's going to go, but it's going to be wonderful. So I'm going to just hop off of here. I think I've said what I needed to say and shared what I needed to share for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with me. Those of you who tried to get on YouTube with me, sorry about my internet connection, and I'll probably upload this to YouTube or to Facebook as well. So the Facebook connection went off very early on. Anyway, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful Halloween, a very insightful and powerful All Saints Day, as you work with the thinning of the veil, as you work with the ancestors that are here for you. And we will carry that energy into Saturday as we talk about human design and self-confidence. Awesome. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you Saturday.